The 90s were characterized by a phenomenon that I call bitchification. Any woman covered by the news was maligned, objectified, and dismissed, often with the word bitch. We have so much to gain from a fresh look, or at the very least, an honest appraisal of the 90s. We must, or we risk repeating the mistakes of the past. The stories of 90s women have become sexist mythology, a problematic history that saps women of their power, just as it was intended to do. We're still experiencing the aftershocks. The Clinton impeachment scandal, then covered as the Monica Lewinsky scandal, cast Lewinsky as a blowjob queen. During the O.J. Simpson trial, lawyer Marcia Clark was framed as an unqualified teenager and a bad mom. The judge called her male colleagues Mr. Darden and Mr. Cochran, but he called her Marcia. Anita Hill testified that Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas sexually harassed her. Hill was called a scorned woman and a little bit nutty and a little bit slutty. The media revolution of the 24-hour news cycle focused on these stories. An insatiable audience followed. Women quickly became relentless content. Lorena Bobbitt cut off her husband's penis after alleging years of rape and abuse. The press mocked her, celebrated him, and covered her as a perpetrator, not a victim. Champion figure skater Tonya Harding became a catfight punchline. History has remembered these women negatively. The media's bitchification didn't treat all women equally. While white women faced sexism, Black women faced racism and sexism. Black women were portrayed as Jezebels in Sapphires, hypersexual, angry, or threatening because of their race. We saw this with Anita Hill, best-selling girl group TLC, the first Black woman Surgeon General, Joycelyn Elders, and even fictional women on the hit show Living Single. The media that bitchified women back then and continue to bitchify women today must be held accountable. This is an ongoing process. Progress is that more women are telling their own stories today. Hill has been reconsidered as an American hero, especially during the testimony of Christine Blasey Ford. A new documentary called Lorena recognizes that she is a survivor of domestic abuse and an immigrant woman, if an imperfect victim. A Harding biopic humanizes her by juxtaposing her accomplishments with hardships she suffered. Lewinsky gave a TED Talk, writes for Vanity Fair, and is widely followed on Twitter. She's also an anti-bullying activist. Today, we are faced with a very different media revolution, the social media revolution. Through the lens of Me Too and Time's Up, we can see the harm the 90s caused. And while the internet can be a harsh place for women, it's also home to supportive spaces for survivors, viral campaigns to fight injustice, and community. It helps us see that we are not alone. Others are fighting with us.